Hey everyone! 1, 2, 3, draw Buzz with me. Let's get started with 3 simple steps to get you started on drawing Buzz. So I've made a worksheet that you can print out, and it shows you the basics of how to do the head and the shirt, and then progress on to do the rest of the body and the wings, then followed by detail. So let's get started. A long time ago, my dad taught me that if I tried to make everything look exactly like what you see, you may end up being very frustrated. So I have to suggest that when you're doing a drawing, let yours look like yours, because there are thousands of printouts of that guy, but only one that looks like yours. So don't worry if it's not exact. In fact, deviate. Try to see what you could come up with. Maybe you can make Buzz look like something he's never looked like before. Maybe he could have glasses or anime eyes. You could change his position or move his arms or give him more arms. You know, hornets do have 6 legs. So be creative and do Buzz the way you want. But to get your ideas on how to get started with Buzz, I want to show you how to sketch out his body. So this is my sketch pad where I was looking at different positions I could put Buzz in. You'll notice that I don't have a lot of details on it because I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with it and which one I really want to be in the position he's going to be in. So it's not until here that you see me start to get detailed with his features. And that's what I'm suggesting for you too. So my worksheet will give you those basic directions, but you'll have to finish your details. So step number 1 on my worksheet has the head and the shirt. So let's get started in that spot. I'm going to come over to this part of the paper because he is not in the center. His head is over on the left-hand side. So I'm going to start over here on the left-hand side of the paper with that egg shape. I hope you don't mind that I'm playing music because my entire neighborhood is cutting grass today and they just won't stop. All right, so there's my egg shape. Now I'm going to continue to the body. This is a line that goes kind of straight across. It's a strange position, and that's not always one that I notice when I'm drawing because it connects from the chin up here across to the body. And then this one comes from the back of the neck across. So they're just 2 lines. One is a little longer than the other. All right, now I'm going to put the E and the G on the shirt so that I don't have to worry about fitting them later. I'll know they fit. So I'm going to put just the shell of the letter E there. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make just the shell of letter G. You see they're the same shell. Now I can go to the next step, which would be putting his bottom portion of his body. It's also an egg shape, but it's a little bit smaller. Remember, if yours is wider or thinner, it's okay. So I'm using sketchy lines that are nice and light so that I can make mistakes. And I think it's just a little bit small, but it's okay. So I'll erase that one spot. All right, I don't worry too much about mistakes till the end. So now I've got my head, my body, and my abdomen. Now we're going to start with the rest of the details for the hands and the wings. So the hands are going to be above the body, and I'm just going to use a circle to represent the hands. So even though we need a lot more details on them, now this one I'm going to make the circle about the same size, but this one's going to hover between the head and the abdomen. All right, so now we've got those 2 parts, and we're going to put the wings on. Now, I think my wings are going to hit this picture, but we'll have to just manage. You can always shorten the wings. I think that's what I'll do. I'll shorten my wings. They'll just be there. So now I let the wing hit into this part. And since I made shorter wings than the original picture, I'm going to have to make the other one match. So I'll just make a shorter wing there. All right, so I've got my wings, my body, and I'm ready to go on to details. So let's start with the face. The face is not as hard as it seems, so I've got a few little tricks. Number 1, I start by splitting the face down this side here. So it's not in the middle, it's off to the left. And then I come beyond the egg and make this become a point. But this part becomes his little smile. So now he's got the original egg, which is his chin, and that's going to be his mouth. Now, if you think about this as a giant letter P, so we'll make a giant oval, see the letter P shape? then you've got a good position for his eye. The next eye is half on and half off the paper. And remember, you can make it bulge out as much as you want. It is your decision. Okay, from here we're going to put the pupil on the eye. So it's really just a glare. So I just kind of make 2 lines like that, like a little rectangle that's curved. And I can move on to his antenna. Now the antenna, we're going to go just with a line there to start and a second line. Then I put a little teardrop shape on the end, and then I make thin letter L's heading back down to his head. Teardrop shape, letter L, L, L. I always look for a letter or a number when I'm drawing something difficult. Then I can continue with a shape that I'm familiar with. So we've got the head going. Now we can move on to the wings. They're easy. So I use letter Y for the wings, but a loose, flowy letter Y. And then I make Ys off of the Y. And that's also how I draw tree branches. Very natural looking letter Ys. Now let's move on to those arms and hands. Now for the hands, he does have a little thumb, but then I just follow with 3 little bumps for the fingers. Bees have legs, not fingers, so it's really kind of however you feel like drawing them. So 3 little bumps for his knuckles there, as he's making a fist. Then to make my way back to his body, he has a wristband, and then I just connect it back to his body. And then over here, I just connect it back. Let's go back over here. And if you're confused, pause and go slow. Now I'm just going to make 1 bump like that for his arm and his elbow, and then I connect back to be his wristband. So there's a little bit of erasing I can do in there to make that clearer for you. All right, so we're on to now finish the G. So all the G is going to be is another letter L, or a 7, that connects back, and the E goes like that. Now you can spend time making these more, bubble-ish, if you like, but that's something that you can go back and work on. Let's move on. Now, to do the number of stripes that he has, there is an easier way to think about it. Instead of having to count them all up, we're just going to cut them in half with a curved line. Then I'm going to get 2 on this side by splitting this curved line in half. Then I'm going to get 2 on this side by splitting this curved line in half. So now all together we have 4 equal lines, but we want to have that stinger, which is a teardrop shape. Now, when you see these have a little bump that comes out of there, I just do that by kind of taking that letter L shape again, and I bump out with the letter L. And it makes it look like the body can actually curve on its own mechanics. Same thing on this side. And now I've got my detailed buzz. I hope that you feel successful, and I hope that you feel equipped to draw buzz on your own. Best wishes.